Before we start, if you like this video, please support my channel by pressing like, and if you subscribe, press the notification bell so that you will get alerts if I have new videos to upload, okay? And guys, by doing it, I will appreciate it very much. Hello guys, this is Rhandz from Rhandz Graphix and welcome back to my After Effects tutorial channel. Today we will be making this. Let me start by creating a new composition and I will name it placeholder 1. I'm using 3840 by 2160 4K 30 frames per second and the duration is 10 seconds. Click OK. And I will open this folder assets, open photos. I will drop this image 1 down into the timeline. Then press S on my keyboard for the scale down. Go back to composition and create a new composition. I will name it paint comp. 3840 by 2160, 30 frames per second and the duration is 10 seconds. The background is black. Click OK. Now open the assets, open this footage. I will open this rendered alpha and drop down this paint 1 footage into the timeline. Then I will right click my mouse, go to transform and I want it fit to comp. Press my keyboard Ctrl D to duplicate it 3 times. I will highlight all the layers, press P on my keyboard for the scale and I will just one by one adjust and move it to where I want, okay? You can also change the rotation if you want to. Just like that. Open the image and drop down my color guide into the timeline. Choose this paint comp. This is our color guide. Move it on the left upper corner of your canvas. Go to effects and preset. Go to fill. Pick this color picker and choose this color. Then again highlight this second layer, go to effects and preset, go to fill, pick this color picker and choose this color. Then highlight again this one and go to effects and preset, go to fill and pick this color. And again highlight this layer and go to effects and preset, go to fill, pick this color. So actually it's up to you what color do you want, just like mine here. So close it. And let's see what we are doing in here. This is what we got. So now I'm gonna go to composition, create a new composition. I will name it placeholder comp. The rate 40 by 2160, 30 frames per second and 10 seconds duration. Click OK. Drop down this placeholder 1 into the timeline and also this paint comp. I will highlight placeholder 1, go to effects and preset, go to stylize, cartoon. Change the render mode here to fill and the detail radius, change this to 20. The shading steps, change this to 7. and set the shading smoothness to 65. Go back to Effects and Preset, go to Stylize, find Edges. Then be sure that your playhead is at the beginning of the timeline. Create a keyframe by hitting this stopwatch on the Blend with Original. Change the amount to 2%. Then move your playhead to about 20 frames. Then change the blending amount to 100%. Then move your playhead to 21 frames. Highlight this paint comp layer and press open bracket key to move that layer. Toggle switches modes in here. Change this track matte to alpha matte. Then I will go back to project panel and open my project assets again. And go to footage, open it up, go to rendered alpha. I'll just drop this paint to footage into the timeline. I will right click my mouse, go to transform, fit to comp. I will again go back to my image and drop down this color guide into the timeline. Highlight this layer and add fill. Pick this color picker and choose this color. Then I will highlight this color guide, delete it. Go to composition, create a new composition. I will name it main one. 3840 by 2160, 30 frames per second, and the duration is 10 seconds. Click OK. Then I will open my project panel. I will drop down this placeholder comp into the timeline. Open the folder ink hard and drop this 001 footage into the timeline. Then right click your mouse, go to transform, fit to comp. Right away I will pre-compose it and I will name it ink spread. Move all the attributes into the new composition, click OK. I will open the ink spread, drop this color guide into the timeline. Move it on the left upper corner of your canvas, then highlight the 001 footage into the timeline. Go to Effects and Preset, go to Color Correction and Tritone. Pick this color picker, choose this color. Then I will highlight the color guide, go to Edit, delete it. Go back to the main, open it up and change the blending mode here to add. Press S on your keyboard for the scale and scale it up. I think that should be good enough. I will press P on my keyboard for the position. I will just move ink spread on the right side a bit. Go open your project panel and drop down this paper texture into the timeline. Right click your mouse and pre-compose it. I will name it paper texture. Move all the attributes into the new composition, click OK. Go to Effects and Preset, go to Color Correction and add Tritone. Go back to my project panel and drop down this color guide into the timeline. Move this color guide on the left upper corner of your canvas. Go to Effects Control, highlight this paper texture. I will pick this color picker and choose these colors. Disable the visibility of your color guide. As you can see, toggle switches mode in here and enable the 3D layer here and also enable the motion blur. And again, I will switch modes in here and change the blending mode on the paper texture to multiply. Then I will open my project panel, drop down this watercolor one into the timeline. Then right click your mouse, pre-compose it right away. I will name it watercolor ink. Move all the attributes into the new composition. Click OK. I will open the watercolor ink by double clicking my mouse. Right away, right click my mouse and go to transform, fit to comp. Go to Effects and Preset, go to Transition and choose CC Image Wipe. Go to Effects and Preset again. Go to Distort, Turbulence Displace. Make sure that your playhead is at the beginning of your timeline and create a keyframe on the completion. Set the completion here to 100%. And also create a keyframe on the amount on the turbulence displaced and move your playhead to about 2 seconds. Change the completion on the CC Image Wipe to 0. And the amount on the turbulence displaced, change this to 100. And then I will press my keyboard Ctrl D to duplicate it. Move back my playhead to about 1 second. Press open bracket key to move that layer. Delete this image wipe. Press U on my keyboard to see the keyframes. Move your playhead to 9 second duration. Move this keyframe. Then go to your effects control and change the amount here on your displacement to 837. Press P on my keyboard for the position. I will change this X position to 967. I will press S on my keyboard for the scale and Shift R for the rotation. I will change the scale here to 95 and the rotation to negative 238. So all I have to do is to go back to the main and press S on my keyboard for the scale. I'll just change the scale here to 145. Then I will highlight all these layers and press P on my keyboard for the position. I will highlight this paper texture, toggle switches modes in here. I will just disable this 3D layer. Enable the 3D layer on the watercolor ink. I will change the Z position on the placeholder comp to 900. The ink spread to negative 150. And the watercolor ink is negative 200. Go back to project panel and drop down the particles into the timeline. I will right click my mouse and pre-compose it. And I will name it particles. Move all the attributes into the new composition, click OK. Open the particles by double clicking my mouse. Then I will highlight it and right click my mouse, go to transform and fit to comp. Then go back and open main one, toggle switches modes in here to see the blending mode and change the blending mode to add. Then I will go to composition, create a new composition. I will name it text. I will change the height here only to 400 and click OK. I will zoom it in, grab the text tool and type ink spread and watercolor slideshow. I'm using Viner hand IDC at 150 pixels. Go to align tool, make it at the center. Go back to the character and change this to probably 163. Align it at the center again. Then go back to character. Change this font to Times New Roman. Then I will highlight this ink spread slideshow and go to my effects and preset and search for smooth move in. Then apply it to the text layer. Make sure that your plate is at the beginning and let's see. So this is what we got. All I have to do is to go back to the main and drop down this text into the timeline. I will move this text down. I think here is good enough. Press P on my keyboard for the position and I will align it. Go to effects and preset and add generate fill and again go back to effects and preset, go to perspective and drop shadow. I will double click this color and type E2 6F51. Click OK and change the value on your drop shadow opacity to 100%. All I have to do now is to go back to my project panel, close these ones. Then I will create a new folder. I will name it scene 1. I will highlight all these compositions, place it on the scene 1 folder. Highlight this color guide and go to edit, delete it. Then go to layer and create a new camera. I'm using a custom camera. Click OK. Expand the camera one. Go to camera options and turn on the depth of field. Then I will make sure that my plate is of the 5-second duration. Press P on my keyboard for the position. Create a keyframe here by hitting the stopwatch. Change the Z position to negative 2732.5. Then move forward your playhead to about 15 frames. Set the value here on the Z position to negative 66. Now it's time to make another folder and I will name it Scene 2. But first I will delete these compositions in my timeline because I'm not using it anymore except the main one. And I will open the Scene 1 folder, highlight all the compositions in here, go to edit and duplicate it. Then I will drag these duplicated compositions into my folder. Then I will double click my mouse to open it up, arrange it. Then I will open the placeholder 2, delete this image, go open my folder assets, open the photos, and I will drop this image 2 into the timeline. Press S on my keyboard, Shift P for the position, scale it down, move it up. Then I will open the Paint 2 comp, highlight all these paints layer and delete it. Open the footage, go to rendered alpha, drop down this Paint 2 into the timeline. Right click your mouse, go to transform, P2 comp, then go to effects and preset, go to channel invert. Go again to effects and preset, go to color correction, then change the map Y to 3C2507. Then click OK. Highlight the Paint 2 and Ctrl D on your keyboard to duplicate it 2 times. Highlight all the layers, press P on your keyboard for the position and Shift R for the rotation. One by one, move it to your desired position. I think that should be good enough, and then I will go to the placeholder comp and press my keyboard out and hold it. Go to project panel, open it up and replace the paint comp to paint comp 2. Replace the placeholder 1 to placeholder 2. Open the ink spread 2. Now I will press my keyboard out and hold it. Replace the 001 to 003 ink spread. Open assets, go to footage, open this ink hard folder and drop down this 003 footage to replace the 001. Press S on your keyboard for the scale. Change the scale here to 284. I will just delete this paper texture because I don't have to tweak it, only the watercolor ink. I will again press my keyboard out and hold it. Then I will go to my image. I will replace the watercolor 1 to watercolor 2. Then I will also open the pencil 2. Press my keyboard out and hold it. And I will replace this pencil 1 by pencil 2. So open the rendered alpha, highlight this pencil 1, replace it with pencil 3. I will then delete this particle because I don't tweak it. All I have to do is to open the text and replace this text to creative design. I will center it, go back to character and change the font size to probably 124 or 125. Then go back to the main, open the main 2, press your keyboard alt and hold it and replace the compositions 1 to compositions 2. So now I will highlight this text and press P on my keyboard for the position, drag it up and position it to your like. Highlight these 2 layers at the bottom and press S on your keyboard for the scale. Scale this ink spread 2 to 92. And the placeholder comp, I will increase the size. Highlight ink spread and go to effects and preset, go to channel, add shift channel. Take alpha from luminance as you can see. So now we'll open main 1 composition, highlight also this ink spread and add shift channel. take alpha from luminance. Then go back to main 2 and let's see, we will preview this. Okay, and again go back to my project panel, close this scene 2 and go to composition, create a new composition. I will name it final. 3840 by 2160, 30 frames per second, and duration is 15 seconds. Click OK. I will open the scene 1 folder, drop down this main one into the timeline. Open this scene 2 and drop down this main 2 into the timeline. Move forward my playhead to about 5 seconds and 15 frames and press open back key to move that layer. Then I will go to layer, create a new adjustment layer. Go to effects and preset and I will add sharpen. I will change the sharpen amount to 10. Go back my playhead at the beginning of my timeline and preview it. There you go. So now guys, we are done with our tutorial and I hope that you learned from it. And don't forget to subscribe for those people who are not yet subscribing my channel. And for those people who subscribe, thank you very much. I hope you like this video, okay? And my thoughts for today is that in everything you do, never discourage and don't lose hope. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time. God bless.